Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Tamitou here, and today we are on the beach and we are having a lovely sunny beach day. So thank you so much for joining me. This is just going to be a really nice sunny, happy, colourful build. So I really wanted to do some beach huts, and I decided to go for this lot on Windenburg on the little island so that we would have the beach right in front of us, and then I just sort of tried to blend the lot in with the terrain tools. So yeah, we're going to go with 5 little colourful beach huts, and each is going to be furnished and themed according to the colour on the outside. And yeah, I kind of go with these base game sliding wallpaper just because after trying to choose so many, I decided these were actually the best ones to go for. So if you've only got base game, good news. You can download, and yeah, you've got your basic little beach huts here. So I decided to go with these cats and dogs doors, and we actually go with quite a few cats and dogs items, so if you have that pack as well, even better. And we kind of go with this really cutesy, nautical, very seaside kind of typical look, and I did want them to look really uniform and really just cute really. And they're basically furnished with like a little kitchenette, a small bathroom, and a little seating area. They're kind of the things you would rent for the day if you're going to the beach, and you can just have all your necessities and take shade inside, but there's no like beds or anything like that. They're not to be lived in. So yeah, you could have it as a community lot, I suppose. And yeah, do it that way, or you could always add some beds if you wanted. But I decided to go with these awnings, these little boat, they're called awnings, right? Yeah, there were so many cute items I wanted to use, so I've used a different awning on the back of the beach huts, and then these ones on the front, and I've sort of coordinated them with each colour that we've got. Sometimes it was a bit tough to find things in each of the colours that I chose, because the red one in particular doesn't have like matching doors and things, but whenever I wasn't sure, I just went with white, and it seemed to work, and it really looks like a typical kind of British seaside beachy kind of vibe. And I do add some landscaping, just a small amount, and I just sort of randomly scatter about this dry kind of looking grass and some rocks, all different sizes, and you know, and then these little pebbles as well that I like from, they're in like the decor section. They're with base game. They're just, I don't think many people use it. I didn't use them until I realized that they looked really good with landscaping. So they just make it look a bit more realistic, and they just make the surface look a little bit less flat and a bit more detailed, because obviously we can't really edit the terrain height or anything like that. So it just gives it a little bit of dimension. And here I'm just adding some temporary walls so that I can add this bunting between each little shack, and it looks really cute and typical of the little British kind of seaside huts that you'll see if you googled it, for example, if you don't know what they look like typically. And I'm also going to go ahead and add some beams across the roofing of each hut. So this is, I use the fencing to do this, and this is so that I can then delete the actual roof, and from the inside you then look up into the eaves of the roof and you get that triangular shape above you. And also you can hang ceiling lights from those so that they don't just like float in midair. So it's just a really cute detail from the inside. You'll see in the screenshots a little bit better. So funnily enough, I've never actually been in a little beach hut, and I've seen them on British beaches, but I've never actually seen them used. As you can imagine, we don't get that much sun, so that's probably why. It'd have to be a really sunny day to be worth it to kind of rent one. But then they're usually the kind of thing that by the time you've driven to the beach and everybody's actually gotten there, they're all full and they're all taken. So like, yeah, you just have to kind of bring your own deck chair and just do that way. And that's why most British people like to go away to sunny places like Spain, because we don't have sun here, or if we do, it's just kind of for 1 week in the year. So here I'm trying to make like a little sofa that's sort of built in to the hut just to save space. And I did try sizing up that kids bench, but it just, I don't know, it just looked a bit odd. And I even tried to sort of use the mannequin to see if it was the right size. But we ended up going with these cats and dogs ones. And the only problem with these is that they're like a corner one, and there wasn't enough space to put them in a corner. So I end up sort of playing around with these shelves, also from Cats and Dogs, and deleting the walls and then raising them free from the grid to kind of fill in this little triangular gap. Kind of tedious. But I've shown you the first time so that you get an idea of what I had to do to kind of get that look. And then we just raise items up and use them as like little shelving areas. So it's kind of cute. I like how it turned out. And I use this in each hut. So I've done it each time. And don't worry, you won't have to watch it again. But yeah, that just gives you an idea of how I did that. Now I have gone ahead and used more or less the same set of items in each hut, but in a different way each time, and I'll kind of talk about each one as they're shown. So if this one is really cutesy and really overly girly, I think they all kind of are a little bit girly, but yeah, the yellow one and then the pink hut are especially girly. And but I wanted that typical it's been decorated for like to attract tourists and just to look really cute. And there's the odd like nautical little decoration like the ship that I've sized down, and things like the ship's wheel as well, that's sort of as a decor item and a wall item. And then we're putting in this kitchenette. So each hut has its own little kitchenette with just one counter space, a fridge and a cooker, which is actually quite generous if you think about it, because there's also a barbecue outside, which, you know, I think you'd much prefer to do that and be outside than inside here cooking, but you know, it's there, as well as a little like desk slash dining space with one chair. And yeah, just most of the build consists of me just, you know, raising up cute little decor items. And I also wanted to go or try and recreate that typical kind of British style of decorating. Well, I think it's typical of British style anyway. I think a lot of people that I know, for example, really like that style of decor where it's just overly cute and there's like lots of love heart things hanging everywhere, like welcome to our home and that kind of thing. And it's just really cute, shabby chic style. I don't really know if I explained that well, but it's not my personal style. Personally, it makes me kind of want to vomit, but that sounds mean, but it's just not my style. I prefer a bit more of a kind of diverse style. But yeah, I just wanted to recreate that for this build because it's just a bit of fun, and you know, it changed it up a little bit compared to what the builds I've been doing recently. So it was just a nice little break more than anything. And yeah, it kind of really reminds me actually of the days that I used to spend at the seaside with family in England. So yeah, it was cute. And by the way, we call it seaside in England sometimes. Yeah, let's go to the seaside, you know. It's really weird. I don't know why we don't just call it beach. Oh, and this little crab thing, I figured that was like the prices of the rental or something when you walk in. So yeah, so the seaside, we kind of, the typical day, you'll kind of drive there, you know, ready with your like bucket and spade for the kids. I'm talking like as a child, obviously, you'd have your bucket and spade, and then like all you'd be concerned about is building the biggest sandcastle on the beach and like beating all the other kids at it. And then there's things like donkey rides that are really typical on British beaches. So like you'll pay for like a little donkey ride, and the donkey literally will just walk and follow all the other donkeys and then just walk back again. And it's like when you're 5, it's like the biggest thing ever. Like it's such a big deal. But yeah, it's cute. Oh, and here outside I've just added a sink for each one. I figured I couldn't fit it inside anywhere, and I wanted each one to have a sink, so I figured it's better outside, so you can kind of finish from the beach, like wash yourself down or whatever, and then come in and you don't get the inside dirty or anything, so, or sandy, because geez, sand gets everywhere. Like I'm pretty sure half of my suitcases still have sand in them from wherever I've been, and it's gotten to the point now where I've just left it in there because it's more like a little souvenir that I brought back with me now. It's just like a fond memory. But yeah, so we're going to move on to the next beach hut now, which is the blue one. And so this is the vanilla one we're still on, and I don't mean vanilla as in boring, I mean vanilla as in the ice cream flavor, because I figured maybe they're all named after ice cream flavors. Like you can rent the vanilla hut or the blueberry one, which is this one. And yeah, it's just a nice change. It's very nautical. I sort of picked each little sofa with the cushions to suit each one or contrast with the color of each one. So I especially love this one. And yeah, just to break up the blueness of the walls, I've used this white sliding as well, which is just so cute. It's just so typically nautical and beachy. And yeah, we've just added some little ships on the wall, some little lanterns dotted everywhere, and a little lighthouse picture, things like that. And this has also got a little dining space as well. It varies from beach hut to beach hut, but yeah, they've all kind of got little different spaces. And I really figured that these flip-flop lights had to be in it somewhere because, you know, they're flip-flops. So they are on a couple of the huts as well, and just a little space for music and some books as well. So here we are sort of moving to the outside. I just wanted to place a few little cutesy items that people or Sims could actually use. So we've got like an umbrella, some towels I'm going to put down, and those chairs were the closest thing to deck chairs that I could find. There were no stripy chairs, unfortunately, so that would have been really good. And then I'm just kind of going through debug and trying to find any items I can that kind of resemble beachy things. Like a bucket and spade would have been awesome, but you know, I found this little lobster dude, decided to put him sort of hiding in the grass. And then like magazines, some headphones, because, you know, when you're laying there sunbathing, you've got to have something to do. And then I just size up this rubber ducky as like an inflatable pool toy for a kid. And then I found this boat from Cats and Dogs Debug, and I really wanted to put it somewhere, but it was just too big. Like I needed more of a rowboat to sort of put in the corner, but yeah. And then I'm just placing some like seaweed and some driftwood just here and there, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. So we've moved on now to the third hut, and this is the red one, and it's kind of more of a watermelon flavor, I'm gonna say, because we've got some green going on as well, just to break up the red, and I didn't want it to look too dark. So yeah, this is nice. This is a really nice one, and I've just used that picture as well from Debug to put the sunflowers in, just as a little cutesy little country kind of vase, and some lanterns as well. And this hut actually, to me, is more of like a very chilled out, more of like a grown-up hut. I figured maybe like imagining an old couple here would work, like an elderly couple who just want to enjoy the beach. And yeah, we've placed a couple of little like wall mounted lobsters and fish and that kind of thing in a couple of them as well, and a little seagull feather, which if you take it from Debug, it turns into a photo frame, so it's perfect. And the seagull, or the sound of the seagulls, is like the first thing that takes me to the beach, and I love it. And whenever you hear them, like if you hear them when you're somewhere that's the beach isn't anywhere, you're like, wait, what? Why are they here? And it makes you think for a second that you might be at the beach. Yeah, so this is the fourth one now, so we're on the pink one, which is strawberry flavor, of course. And yeah, this is where I went all out cutesy girly, like blech. Not my taste, but yeah, I just used mostly pink and white items, and yeah, just kind of cluttered it up, and it's really cute. This one's also got a little desk space, which again, I've placed these little like little cabinets or end tables with towels and things like that, so there's a lot of storage space where you can, you know, store your towels and clothes and stuff. And I was going to put this bookcase to be like a beach hut within a beach hut, but it's got a lot of colour on the inside that didn't really work, so it would have worked if it was all white. And yeah, so I ended up placing this bookcase instead, and you can see you've got things like wreaths on the wall and little love heart things, and just a lot of white and pink items. And the last hut is actually going to be the more kid-friendly one, so there's going to be some kids activities in there, and some toys and that kind of thing. So yeah, this is how I placed a lot of the items. I had to just like pull them away from the grid and then place them how I wanted, because I'm very picky about how, like, the angle of items, the size. I like them to be really perfect, and I'll look at them from like every angle. I like them to be perfectly imperfect, if that makes sense, because I want them to look really like placed as if they're being placed by somebody. So yeah, I'm so ready for summer now. I think everybody here is on this side of the hemisphere, because it feels like it's been dragging on for so long. We had snow like a few weeks ago, and yeah, I think we're all just ready for some sun, and as little as it might be. I mean, I'm in Ireland right now and it's so gloomy, and yeah, I'm just dying for some sunshine and for some ice cream. Speaking of which, we've moved on to the mint chocolate chip ice cream. flavored hut. Does that make sense? No, but it's basically the green one, and it's like this minty green color. I love it. And yeah, that's probably the ice cream flavor I go for most, other than like coconut. So yeah, this one's a little bit more kid friendly. There's some kids activities and bits. But I'd love to know, which beach hut would you pick if you were going to this beach today in Windenburg and it was sunny, because obviously it's always sunny. Which one would you pick, and why? Is it based on the color? Which one you like furnished better? Or I don't know, tell me. And yeah, I'm just really happy that you enjoyed this little bit of virtual sunshine with me today. So yeah. Or maybe you're from somewhere that is always sunny and beachy, in which case I am very jealous of you. So yeah, let me know, and thank you so much for watching. Now please enjoy the little video tour and screenshots, and I will see you very soon. Enjoy the sound of the seagulls as well. Bye!